What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV for an instant match reaction. Newcastle 6, Tottenham 1. And if anyone had any sort of belief that Spurs could potentially get into that top four, that is completely dead and buried today. Stellini tried something different today. He went for at the back, started at 4-3-3, and it literally couldn't have gone any worse than it did today. After 5 minutes, we were 2-0 down. After 9 minutes, we were 3-0 down. And after 20 minutes, we were 5-0 down in an absolute embarrassment at St. James's Park. Shocking defending. And, you know, we've been saying all season, a lot of fans have been saying all season, oh, Conte's the problem. The system's the problem. 5 at the back is the problem. Well, there you go. You got Conte sacked. You got 4 at the back. And how's that working out for you lot today? 5-0 down after 20 minutes. That is what you got to see. And there was just nothing for Spurs in that game whatsoever. I mean, it was an absolute horrific shit show from the first minute all the way till the end, really. Not one player stood up for the shirt today. I can't think of anything positive to say. It was just an absolute misery, that game, and I'm just so happy it's over.
Drew the second half 1-0.
Yeah, great.
Got a second half point. Absolutely. It was. I can't put into words how embarrassing that first half was. I mean, you've never seen Premier League defenders just asked to defend in like normal situations and just being so incapable of doing so. Eric Dyer turning like a dump truck for that fourth goal, from Isaac. He was just running away from him like wasn't even there. Pedro Porro putting his hand up for offside when the guy was clearly onside. Joel Linton breaks away from him, and Porro's like sticking there, putting your hand up, and is like letting him run off him and letting him run.
They're just walking.
They're all of them.
Run.
The first goal,
running.
The first goal, Joel Linton just walking into the box. Sarr, Højbjerg, Skip, nowhere to be seen. You've added an extra midfielder to a couple more space, but they're nowhere to be seen. Just jogging towards him as if like allowing him to get the shot off. No challenges being put in. Lloris parries it. No one following up. Jacob Murphy first to react. Jacob Murphy scores with a 30-yard screamer. No one close to him. Absolutely no one closing him down. He's got all the time in the world to line up a shot and crack it in. Obviously, you don't expect Murphy to score from there, but still, no pressure on the ball. Isaac then runs for a goal for the fourth goal. So easy. One ball through. Dyer can't get anywhere near him. Fifth goal. Pulled back to Isaac, who's goes through Hugo Lloris. Again, very, very easy for Newcastle. And it was game done. 20 minutes in, there are streams of Tottenham fans leaving because the game was absolutely dead and buried after 20 minutes. You can't get any worse indictment than that. It was an absolute disgrace. No one trying. It wasn't just a lack of ability to defend, which there definitely was one, but it was also the willingness to defend, the tracking, the aggression, the putting your body on the line. You cannot be the best defender, but you can throw your body at it. You can be aggressive. You can make a foul. We had no appetite to do that today. It was all about coasting through the game. Whenever we had the ball, we shut ourselves. We panicked. How many aimless long balls Eric Dyer played today? Time after time after time again, he was playing these long passes. The front three had were not doing their defensive duties, and as well, they couldn't get involved pretty much throughout the whole game. It was just all in all, absolute travesty of a performance.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't even think Newcastle were that good today. I just felt we made it so easy with them. Players backing off, players not getting close enough, not putting challenges in, not putting enough effort in. It was just so hard to watch this game. It really was. And look, you got to give credit to Newcastle, even though, like I just said, I don't even think they played too well. They put their chances away. They absolutely battered us.
Definitely clinical.
In the first half, they had 6 shots on target, 5 goals.
Yes, it wasn't like they were. I mean, they were pummeling us, because obviously,
but it was all our own doing.
Yeah, literally,
all our own doing.
Like we just made it so easy for them. We made it ridiculous easy, and obviously they have to take advantage of that, which they did, and you have to be good to do that. But we did make it ridiculously easy for them. I don't think Isaac will never have an easier day than he had today. Just all you had to do is make the run in behind. Dyer can catch up with him, and it was very easy. There was no pressure on the pass for the through ball, and bam, he's in on goal every single time. Set pieces, we got so lucky we didn't concede from that. Time after time they were creating chances, and Hugo goes off at half time. Rumours of it dressing room bust up. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen Lloris have bust ups with teammates as well. We saw on the Amazon documentary. So clearly not all is well. That was a performance of a team who clearly aren't together, not fighting for each other. Everyone passing the buck, passing responsibility, no one taking control. When we can see that fifth goal, everyone's looking around. Everyone's looking around at someone else. No one's taking the team by the scruff of the neck and barking instructions, making sure there is set standards. There's no one doing it. And I include Kane in that. I mean, he's doing it in his performance, but he's not doing it with leadership on the pitch, with his words. No one is taking the responsibility for anything on that pitch. Everyone's leaving it to someone else, and that culminated in more and more chances conceding, more goals being conceded, more mistakes, and it was an absolute and in a game where we know that if we do somehow pull a result, we could go level on points with Newcastle. To be 5-0 down after 20 minutes is to spit in the face of all the fans who travelled up there to Newcastle to support their team. Not only that, they travelled yesterday, they stayed over, probably cost them a night's accommodation, a lot of them, to stay and support their team.
Fans out there last night. 100%.
And 20 minutes in, you've shat the bed. 20 minutes in, you're not. It's one thing to be 1 or 2-0 down after 20 minutes. That's already a disaster. To be 5-0 down, to have the game over after 20 minutes, to have the game over at 9 minutes in, nine minutes in, you're 3-0 down. That, I'm sorry, is completely unacceptable. And that you deserve all the ridicule and criticism you get in that kind of situation.
Yeah, and if they don't give the fans that went up there a refund on their travel and their ticket, you lot are a disgrace. And we know you're a disgrace, whoever run this club anyway.
I usually think it's laughable when people call for refunds and this and that.
No,
but
this one warrants it. This one warrants it.
100%.
I'm sorry, but that was an absolute disgrace from every single person involved. And what you're saying about, lacking fight, no leadership there. I really thought, at 5-0 down, when you come out for the second half, after you get a talking to by the manager, you think they would come out with a bit. I know we played a bit better in the second half, but you thought they would come out with a bit of aggression, a bit of fight. Even that I didn't see. I just saw beaten men all over that football pitch. And for a club like Tottenham Hotspur, this is very, 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 very far from being anywhere near good enough. It's just I got no more words to say on this because I'm just too angry. I'm just way too angry to even sit here and talk about what happened on that football pitch because it's just a total and utter embarrassment. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've been this embarrassed to be a Spurs fan.
If that doesn't show you what Conte was saying about not there just being a problem at Tottenham from not just about quality wise, it's an attitude and an application. And that is the problem with a lot of these players, and we're seeing it time after time, week in, week out. We're seeing it now, and it's almost as if Conte, while Conte was here, we were getting over the line in a way. It seems to me now as if under Conte we were overperforming from what we've seen since Conte, because under Conte, at least, we had a bit of solidity about us. Yes, our defence was bad, no doubt about it, and it was problematic. But at least under Conte, we would be picking up results here and there and make it difficult.
But isn't this in this studio what we've been saying all season? Isn't this what we've been saying?
Yeah,
we
100%.
have to play 5 at the back to compensate for these terrible, terrible defenders week in, week out.
To stop us being 5-0 down after 20 minutes.
And what did I say before the game? I said, with 5 at the back, we're conceding 3. Without, we're going to concede 4 or 5. We conceded 6.
You're right. Absolutely right, spot on. And those are the reservations I've had throughout the whole season about playing a back four. People have always called for it throughout the season, and now we've seen it plain as day. What the issue is, playing especially good sides like Newcastle, who know what they're doing, when you play Dyer and Perisic and Porro in a back four, that's what you're asking for, essentially. I thought, to be honest, that I did expect us to be exposed at the back, but I thought at least what we could be doing is showing a bit more on the ball. But there was absolutely nothing. No one showing for the ball. No one getting on. No one having the confidence to drive forward. No possession. It was absolute. Everyone just lumping the ball forward every time. It was like as if we were playing back 5 tactics with a back 4, and it was like completely. It was a complete disaster. It literally could not have gone worse. Literally couldn't have gone worse. The
only positive that you can take out of this game is that we didn't concede 10.
Literally, it could have been a record. It should have been a record Premier League defeat when you're 5-0 down after 20 minutes. You're staring that in the face. So I guess we did well to avoid that and avoid the record books. Although I think one record with the first Premier League team to be 5-0 down after 20 minutes, I believe. Great. So that's one record we have for us. So look, this season's over, man. I said it was over last week, but now it's like pretty well and truly, signed, sealed, delivered. If we had a win today, you'd give us an outside chance of getting top 4. Even a draw, I would say it's over. And now with that kind of defeat and that kind of performance, I think we'd be lucky to get Conference League at this point, to be honest, because we're not playing with any sort of team mentality. Everyone has given up. The players have given up. No one, except the only person who's still going is Harry Kane, who can do things by himself, but he's the only one who's still trying. He's on 24 goals this season. He got a really nice finish, but everyone else is completely given up. No one seems to care. Why should we get invested in a top 4 race when the players don't seem to believe they're going to get out anyway? And if they don't believe, I've got absolutely no faith that this set of players is going to string one win. I said after the Southampton game, we're not going to win another away game from now to the end of the season. And I think we've lost every single one since then.
I'm thinking we might not win another game for the rest of the season.
Never mind we've just lost to Bournemouth at home. You know, we've got Man United at home coming next. Then we go to Anfield. Can't see any points coming there. So it's going to be a very, very difficult end to the season here. I can see us with many, many more losses with the way we're going. Look, on the flip side, I'm hoping that kind of display will wake them up a bit. But if we haven't been woken up, if Southampton and Everton and Bournemouth didn't wake them up, then there's no hope this game waking them up. If anything, it's going to put them even more depressed. It's going to make them even more depressed.
When you've got players with such a fragile mentality, negative things are only going to make it more negative. Mm-hmm. You need players with a good mentality that are going to respond to bad moments. Our players do not respond well to bad moments. So this is just going to fester and get worse and get worse and get worse. There is no... I mean, I'm struggling to see where a next win comes from this season.
100%, especially with the Stellini in charge playing this way, with the players who have given up essentially. No, there's no belief in there. When we brought in Conte, I think last season there was that belief we were going to do it. That has been sapped out of this team. There's absolutely no belief, no desire in this team right now that we're going to do it. And I said before the game, I think the question was asked, I can't remember who asked it, like, you know, is this game an opportunity to show that they want the top 4? And I'm like, those have passed. We had them with Southampton, Everton. We had those opportunities to show that we really wanted this top 4. And we showed time and time again we are not up to it. We don't want it. We're not up to it. There's no desire to get it. So why would I think we're going to show it against Newcastle? Not only did we not show it, we showed the complete opposite. We crumbled after 20 minutes. So the quickest crumble you're ever going to see. So this team lack the balls, lack the fight, lack the desire, lack the quality as well. When you don't have the quality, which we do not have, that's clear. We don't have. When you don't have it, you can make up for it with desire, aggression, making up for it in other ways. But we don't have that either. And when you have those two things lacking, that leads to results like this, like 6-1 away at Newcastle. That's how that happens. When you marry a lack of quality with a lack of mentality and fight and aggression, that's what happens. And that's what this team has.
And where is any light at the end of the tunnel at this football club?
End of the season.
Even that, like, we still don't have a sporting director. We still don't have a manager. We've got copious amount of players that either their future's up in the air or they're not good enough to be at this football club. Like, how the hell are this club going to sort out this mess? This ownership have got a massive, massive task on their hands, and I don't think they're capable of doing it. I just do not think they're capable of doing it. Daniel Levy needs to take a long, hard look at everything to do with this football club. And unfortunately, well, not even unfortunately, he needs to go. He needs to go. He is not fit for purpose at this football club anymore. Him and the board. And I'm just sick of it. You know, the fans have been treating like this year in, year out now. And I think it's just going to get worse and worse. And I think we're going into a period now where, you know, we could be looking at 6th or below, 7th or below for a few seasons now. I don't think that I don't think we're going to see Spurs come back to what we want it to be for a long time now. I really don't. I can't see it. Where can you see like positivity coming from?
Nothing.
Even if you get a good manager, and we've had the good managers in, we've had the Contes in, we've had the Jose Mourinho's in, and things just get worse and worse. Mm-hmm. So where is this football club going? Where?
Aimless.
It's going into the abyss. It's going nowhere.
It's aimless. We've got nowhere to go. We're the direction from the hierarchy.
He must go now.
The direction from the hierarchy is, this is why we're in this situation. They've given this squad who lacks quality They've sacked the manager who they sacked him because he was too demanding. He demanded too high standards from this squad. And now you take that away, and all of a sudden those standards are completely dropped from even when they were under him.
We are sleepwalking to mid-table mediocrity now. That's where we're going right now. We're going back to the 90s where Arsenal were the best team in the league. Spurs were absolutely nowhere. And I tell you what, if Harry Kane does go in the summer, then what do? We don't have Harry Kane to bail us out every game. Like, are we even going to finish mid-table without Harry Kane in this team?
Who knows? Look. There's a lot to happen from now until the start of next season. A lot needs to change, and the hierarchy have to be up for that challenge, and they need to be acting now. You know, Paratici's gone now. There's no point waiting around anymore. We need to get going because we are in an absolute mess wherever way you look at it. Absolute mess. There's no way you can look and think this is going in a good direction. Everywhere is a mess, and so they better pull their finger out right now because the club, footballing wise, is all over the place. And if they can't see that, then they're completely deluded and burying their heads in the sand. And I wouldn't put it past this board, considering how they've dealt with a lot of situations recently about burying their heads in the sand. So I completely agree. We are completely a mess. Absolute mess, and it's why we can't get a manager. It's why we can't can't move forward and compete for big things, because we're all over the shop, absolutely all over the shop, and there's nothing more to say. I mean, after a game like that, I mean, it's obvious to everyone we're all over the place. And it's like we've been getting a few results here and there, like, you know, beating Brighton 2-1 and things like that. It just kind of keeps us in the conversation for top four. Maybe he's been relying on that, Levy, in terms of like, oh, look, they're kept in the conversation. Maybe we can still make a good fight of it. But if you can't see after today that this team not only aren't good enough to get it, but don't want it, like, I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what you're watching, because we're done. We're finished. We're finished. And do we think we're gonna pull results out to get Europa League? No chance. No chance.
Well, there you have it. This club is in a massive, massive mess, and it needs something to pull it out from the absolute darkness. The fans need to make a stand, and we'll see where we go. But that is that 6-1 at St James's Park. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.